this. I actually have zero idea if this is working because you guys know I got banned from doing these for a little while. So let me know if it's working on your end because we have a lot to cover. By the way, don't know if you're good at multitasking, but there is a live court hearing today with Idaho versus Koberger, and a lot has been dropped, right? A lot of information was just dropped by the judge. By Ann Taylor is dropping big boom today. She is giving us a lot of information about Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk, and this little bit that she let out is spilling a lot of things we had yet heard about, right? And it's sounding to me, this is my opinion, my theories, my speculations from, of course, the live that I am watching right now, attempting my very best to multitask. It sounds to me like Miss Dylan Mortensen was coerced by law enforcement. This is a problem. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about Moscow Police Department doing what Moscow Police Department does best. And what is that exactly? Fucking shit up. That is what they do best. And look, it's a small police department. I love cops. I love law enforcement when they follow the rules, when they follow the laws. But here, what do we have Ann Taylor saying in today's court hearing? She literally just said that Dylan Mortensen never mentioned anything about bushy eyebrows. Okay, we have literally been brainwashed with the bushy eyebrow phase since forever, right? Because Dylan Mortensen never mentioned bushy eyebrows on her own. In fact, Ann Taylor dropped one of the biggest booms today, and that is that Dylan did not mention this phrase until about the third interview with law enforcement. That is a big fucking problem, people. Wake up. Okay, do you know what coercion looks like? This is what coercion looks like in my humble girly opinion, right? And what Ann Taylor and the defense is trying to say here is that we need to throw this bitch's statement out, okay? This hoe is drunk as fuck, and if this bothers you, if my sailor mouth bothers you, okay, this is what I think, okay? Go away. I earned my right to have a sailor mouth as a veteran, I think, right? But that's just me. Ann Taylor's saying this bitch and her big mouth, they are unreliable. How in the world are we supposed to believe, are we supposed to accept her statement into the trial? We are right down the fucking road from the trial, and Ann Taylor is still fighting for her statement to be removed. Why? Because it is unreliable. What did we hear about Dylan Mortensen in today's live hearing, which by the way is still going on? This bitch started her day classy, right? Dylan started her day with mimosa, okay? My type of girl, okay? I love a good mimosa. Followed by White Claws. Not a fan of those, but that's just me. And then hard liquor while she was playing some alcohol game, because that's probably what college folks do. So she'd been shit-faced since the morning. I'm just saying, if you are literally starting your day with mimosas, followed by White Claws, and then hard cider, it's like, you're drunk, bitch. You're drunk. Therefore, your statement is unreliable. And it should be, because we all know, all of us who have some fucking neurons left, that if you're drunk in a vehicle alone, if you've had even a couple beers, and if you get pulled over, going straight to jail, motherfucker. Why? Because your senses are slowed down. They are not accurate, right? Because now you're a danger to society. And in my opinion, Dylan Mortensen is a danger to society. The statements that whether she made out of her own willingness or whether she was coerced by law enforcement, again, we have seen Moscow PD be corrupt time and time again. I have covered this for 2.5 years already. Go to the beginning of this channel. And I've covered other cases where Moscow PD did some really shady shit, okay? My opinion, it was illegal, a lot of what they did. And the cops got a little slap on the hand for being a naughty little piggy, right? Ann Taylor said today that Dylan Mortensen made the statement that she was probably really drunk, okay? Bitch, you were drunk. It's cool, I forgive you. But then we can't also believe her statement. If she was saying she was probably really drunk, mimosas, White Claws, hard liquor. She also said, Dylan, that it was like wearing blurry glasses. I don't know about you, but listen here, okay? Get a couple of readers on your face. Put some readers on from the dollar store. Put them on. Let me know what that looks like. Because I bet your fucking ass that if you put those glasses on, if you put those blurry glasses on, you're not going to see shit. Okay? This is why I'm saying this statement is unreliable, but it's also dangerous. It's also very dangerous. Why? Because this is a DP case. It's a death penalty case. We literally have Brian Koberger's life on the line here. So it's very important that this statement from a drunk woman gets removed. Right? She's saying she was probably really drunk. It's like wearing blurry glasses. So how in the fuck did you see the bushy eyebrows? Right? Because this person who allegedly was 3 feet away from her was covered head to toe black. Couldn't see a mouth, nothing. Ann Taylor is saying this statement, it's all confabulation. And the meaning of confabulation, okay, that is when you fill in the blanks in your memory. And another thing we learned today was that Dylan Mortensen had never used the word balaclava. This was something, by the way, you guys know I love psychology. You can use words, you can use terminology and implant that into people's brains. Is that what happened here? That is what Ann Taylor and the defense is saying. She's like, she never even used that word balaclava. They showed her a picture of a balaclava and then she drew one. Which, by the way, isn't she supposed to be some sort of artist? Her balaclava looks like a fucking football to me. Not hating, I'm just saying. They also asked Dylan if she could draw a picture of the intruder and she was unable to. Probably because she was shit-faced and she said she was really drunk and she said that everything looked like she was wearing blurry glasses. So how in the world did you manage to see those bushy eyebrows? Again, is this coercion by law enforcement? If any of us were to be interviewed by law enforcement and you never mention bushy eyebrows in your interviews until the third interview, it sounds like coercion to me, okay? Ann Taylor is also telling us today, release all of the text. We already knew it, guys. Again, we have some neurons left on this channel. Thank God for all of you who have some common sense. We know that the text that we have seen, okay, that is not everything. They only released what they want to. I have a feeling it's a very small portion of the text that we've been seeing. And she's saying there is a whole separate text messaging exhibit. Okay, she's saying we need to analyze all of the Snapchats. You know, you need to release everything. Release all of the Snapchats, release all of the Instagram messaging back and forth. Because what did Ann Taylor say in today's court hearing? She said she was never asleep. She was up on Snapchat, on Instagram, on social media. She was on Indeed, and on top of that, she was editing pictures. But what was most concerning for me in today's live was that now we know for a fact that Dylan actually saw Xana Kernodle. Okay, she actually saw her when she was passed away already. And according to Dylan, she thought that Xana was just passed out from the night before. I just thought she was just passed out. Okay, this is extremely concerning because that just makes your statement that much more unreliable, and it is also making me really give a side eye to Dylan Mortensen. We have been told time and time again about how horrific this entire crime scene was. It was supposed to be gory, gruesome, disgusting, disturbing, but we're supposed to believe that Dylan saw Xana. and thought she was passed out. Where's all the red fluid? Because apparently the rooms were covered in them, top to bottom. You didn't see any red fluid, Dylan? What the fuck? Were you that shit-faced, or are you making things up right now? If I were a lawyer, I'd be like, you're full of shit, or you just need to delete her statements from this trial. We cannot go with the whole bushy eyebrow thing, which, by the way, news channels, when they heard the word bushy eyebrows, they fucking took it and ran, right? So, Ann Taylor is saying, look, there was more going on in that house, and all the text messages that have not yet been released to the public, they need to be analyzed. There's something shady going on here. Release all of the text, release all of these separate text messaging exhibits. And I was also paying attention to how Judge Hibbler is look, I know that he questioned the state a little bit. Trashley Jennings, by the way, look, I'm not judging. I'm just being objective. Did Trashley Jennings gain some LBs, or is she prego? Does it matter? No, but yes, because sometimes when people are under pressure, like under a lot of stress, they can gain weight very, very rapidly. So, you know, stress can do that. Is it possible that Trashley Jennings is under a lot of stress from allegedly hiding that exculpatory evidence? By the way, why is your fucking face still at these court hearings? Shouldn't she be held accountable in a legal way? I thought there was going to be some sort of legal repercussions for breaking the law. I mean, allegedly, if you're hiding exculpatory evidence, just let me know. What do you think? Do you think that she should be at the very minimum disbarred? Maybe some jail time. If you have exculpatory evidence for Bryan Kohberger and he's been sitting in jail, rotting, by the way, not rotting, but I'm watching him right now, okay? He doesn't look good. It looks like he's dropped another freaking 20 pounds. He's not doing so hot. He's not doing so hot. Like, obviously the stress of all of this is a lot. But then I see Trashley Jennings and she's like ballooning up. Is this going to catch up to her? And yes, I paid attention to how Judge Hibbler called her out. Like, look, I know that you're trying to use these 911 calls to your advantage, but, you know, she said, yeah, there's only so many exceptions, I guess, so we can, like, make for the law, you know. No, there should be zero exceptions. Like, the law is the law, okay? It's black and white. It's black and white, baby. Don't try to do your squirmy things that you like to do. And she has this stupid smile on. And although Judge Hibbler is calling her out, kind of, sort of, I'm looking at his body language more than the shit that is coming out of his mouth. Because we know in psychology that communication is more body language than anything else, right? You can spew nonsense out of your mouth hole, out of your pie hole all day long. But if your body doesn't match it, guess what? I'm going to question it, bitch. I'm going to question it. So we have Judge Hibbler, but Ashley Jennings, you know, like, meh. And Ashley's like, I know, oh my God, exceptions. But when he is talking to the defense, his body language is exactly the same shit that we have seen since he took over for Judge, right? What is it? It's this look of like, hey, word, I hate it here. Oh my God, are you done? Are you done talking yet? Ugh, I can't stand you, bitch. Can you just like get it over with? Ugh, like so annoying. And then he's just like, you know, crusty lips. He's like doing this a lot. We all have tells, and I've analyzed Hibbler enough now to know his fucking tells. Every time that Ann Taylor or the defense is talking, Lisa is talking, it's the same bullshit, okay? Body language goes from this to, I'm bored. Like, with that alone, I already know what he thinks about this case. I already know what he thinks about Kohberger. I already know. Okay? You don't need to tell me anything else, Hibbler. I could see it. Those wheels only turn when Trashley Jennings is talking. So, okay, did you guys watch this live? Did we see the same things? What do you all think? Please let me know in the chat. I'm trying to pull up the chat here. Let me know. What do you guys think about Dylan actually seeing Xana post-mortem, allegedly, and thinking she was passed out? Okay. Again, I'm trying to remain objective and give people, even fucking Dylan, the benefit of the doubt. But when you say shit like this, Dylan, when you tell me you ran into the bodies you saw Xana post-mortem, allegedly, and then you were editing pictures on your fucking phone, where do you think my mind is gonna go to, baby? Where do you think? And you are spewing fucking nonsense saying that, oh my God, I thought she was passed out from the night before. I'm sorry, but if you were running into walking into a crime scene, and there's allegedly a fucking mess with red fluid top to bottom, you thought she was just passed out? Really? So then you went on Snapchat and Instagram and Yik Yak and TikTok and Indeed and editing pictures and calling your dad. By the way, I don't know about y'all, I have a pretty close relationship with my mom and dad. And I can understand objectively why somebody, if you see something weird happening in your place and you're shit-faced, why you would call your mom and dad, right? But if I call my dad while there's an intruder in my house, a masked man, and I tell him, oh my God, I think there's a weirdo in here, I don't know what to do. You know what my dad would say? Why the fuck are you calling me, you stupid idiot? Call 911. But in this case, no, right? We didn't have any of that, right? Whatever. Either way, guys, I'm going to continue to go watch that. I don't even know if it's over yet. I clicked out of it because when I see stupid Ashley Jennings' face, she just pisses me off. Is she pregnant or is she just gaining stress weight? I don't know. Who's in the chat, guys? I guess the chat is working. Am I out of trouble already? I don't know what's going on. Hello, Hoppers. Oh my God. Hi. Hi, Hoppers. AR Hayes, been there live. Mustang Mantle, hello from the UK, loving the content. Thank you for the kind comment, Mustang. Jody, hello, they lied? Shocking, they've been lying, right? So now to me, all the vibe that I'm picking up from the state is they look a little bit like they're frozen in shock, right? They don't know what the fuck to say. Because Ann Taylor just dropped all these booms telling us that Dylan actually saw Xana, but thought she was passed out from the night before. That doesn't make any damn sense whatsoever. Photography by Crystal. I do not think the state should be allowed to call BK exactly. No, they should not be allowed to use that word until he's proven guilty. Jay, fine veteran at that. Thank you for your service. Thanks, Jay. I've been working with my potty mouth, right? Trying to increase my vocabulary to some more bad words just to trigger the haters. Kelsey, as my daddy always said about my swearing, good flow. I like that. That's cute. Hello. Hoppers, hi, check-in, please hit the like. Yeah. Photography with Crystal, thank you for your service. Thank you guys. You guys are so nice. Nika's alive again. I was still making videos, guys. So I was still making videos for you guys. I don't ever want to go away because I like keeping you updated on this case, right? Hello, Don. Welcome. Lynette Klump, I doubt she ever said clad in black either. Yeah, exactly. That sounds like cops doing what they do best, is filling in the blanks, putting shit in people's minds. Paul Taylor, hello. They still haven't solved Buddy's unaliving. No, they haven't. Hello, Maria. Hello, Carol. Dustin says, hello, Dan. They bled them. They moved them into the house. I think the autopsy would show that, because when a person has been passed away for a while, depending on how they pass away, the red fluid is going to pool in the body differently. It can pool in extremities, for example. depending on their positioning and everything else, right? So, however, they pass away. And we have theorized this before, guys, that what if there was an OD, bad batch, somebody got their hands on a bad batch, and then the crime scene was set up. But I think the blood spatter analyst, the scientist, the forensic scientist will be able to tell us that if he's going to be doing all the math, because that's got to match the wounds. And if they don't match, we have a really big problem, right? So Dan says, I can eat. I was on hunger strike till Nika back live. Oh my God. You guys are silly. Thank you, Dan. But like I said, please go watch my videos. I have not been making lives because I was in trouble. But now I'm back, and I was still filming just regular videos. So please go watch those, because we definitely did talk about some very important things. Let me know if you watch this live yourself. That's it for the day, guys. Leave a like, leave a comment. Make sure that you are subscribed to get notifications, because we know what this platform likes to do. They like to push us small truth tellers away. They want us to say that coworker did it, that he's the guy. He's got the bushy brows. They don't want us to talk about the fact that Dylan was shit-faced, the fact that Dylan was started her morning with mimosas, followed by White Claws, followed by playing alcohol games with hard liquor and God knows what else, right? They don't want us to talk about that. Do you guys think her testimony is unreliable? Leave a 1 if you think she is unreliable, and leave a number 2 if you think that she's a perfect angel that had nothing to do with it, knows nothing, and was not coerced by Ellie, right? So see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.